Fabled Heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
I've always been drawn to the darkness, the shadows that dance upon the walls, and the secrets that lie within the whispers of the night. It's as if I was born to navigate the treacherous paths of the Unseelie court, where the fairies of the dark court reign supreme. My name is Aria, and I'm a mortal, a human who has found herself entangled in the intricate web of fairy politics. It began with a bargain, a desperate plea to the Unseelie King to save my ailing mother. I offered him anything, everything in exchange for her life. The king, with his piercing gaze and chiseled features, accepted my proposal with a sly smile. He presented me with a choice: become a statue of ice, frozen in time, or live in the dark court and make his son, Prince Kael, feel human again. I chose the latter. As I stepped into the grand halls of the Unseelie court, I was met with a mixture of curiosity and hostility. The fairies eyed me with suspicion, their whispers and snickers following me like a dark cloud. Prince Kael, with his piercing blue eyes and raven-black hair, stood before me, his gaze cold and unyielding. "You're the mortal who's supposed to make me feel human," he said, his voice low and husky. "I doubt you'll succeed where others have failed." I felt a shiver run down my spine as he approached me, his movements fluid and predatory. "I'll do my best, Your Highness," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. The days turned into weeks, and I found myself navigating the complex world of fairy etiquette and politics. Prince Kael was a difficult companion, his moods shifting like the winds. One moment he'd be cold and distant, the next he'd be intense and passionate. I began to realize that his emotions were a facade, a mask he wore to hide the true depths of his feelings. As we spent more time together, I discovered that Prince Kael's lack of humanity was a result of a curse, one that had been cast upon him by a rival fairy lord. The curse had stripped him of his emotions, leaving him a shell of his former self. I became determined to help him, to find a way to break the curse and restore his humanity. Our days were filled with tense conversations, awkward silences, and stolen glances. I found myself drawn to the prince, despite his prickly demeanor. There was something about him that called to me, a spark of attraction that I couldn't ignore. I knew it was foolish, that I was a mortal and he was a fairy prince, but I couldn't help the way I felt. As the weeks turned into months, our relationship evolved. We began to share moments of tenderness, of laughter and tears. Prince Kael's mask began to slip, and I caught glimpses of the man beneath. I realized that he was not just a prince, but a complex, multifaceted individual, with desires and fears, hopes and dreams. But our love was forbidden, and the dangers that surrounded us were very real. The Unseelie King, Prince Kael's father, did not approve of our relationship. He saw me as a mortal, a weakness, and he would stop at nothing to keep his son from falling in love with me. One night, as we walked in the gardens, Prince Kael turned to me, his eyes burning with intensity. "Aria, I feel things when I'm with you," he said, his voice low and husky. "Things I thought I'd never feel again. I don't know what's happening to me, but I know I don't want it to stop." I felt my heart skip a beat as he took my hand, his touch sending shivers down my spine. "I feel it too, Kael," I replied, my voice barely above a whisper. "I feel it too." As we stood there under the starry sky, I knew that our love was doomed. The Unseelie King would never approve of our relationship, and the consequences of our love would be dire. But I couldn't help the way I felt, and I knew that I would follow Prince Kael into the depths of the underworld, if that's what it took to be with him. And so our story became a tale of forbidden love, of two souls from different worlds, bound together by a thread of fate. We danced around each other, our love growing with each passing day, as the dangers that surrounded us drew closer. As I look back, I realized that I made a bargain with the Unseelie King, but it was not the only bargain I made. I made a bargain with my heart, with my soul, and with the very fabric of my existence. I chose to love a fairy prince, to follow him into the darkness, and to risk everything for a chance at happiness. The question is, will our love be enough to overcome the obstacles that stand in our way, or will it be our downfall?